everyone. So this video is on drawing rotations. Okay, so this is just a revision video on rotations, on rotational symmetry, and you're going to be asked in the assessment to describe a rotation, and that'll be my next video. Okay, so what you need to do is you'll have a piece of tracing paper. Now, I haven't actually got any tracing paper at home, but I do have baking paper, and that works in exactly the same way. As you can see, you'll be able to you can use it as tracing paper. Okay, so let's read what we're doing here. So you're always given 3 pieces of information. So if you're asked to describe it, and I'll go into more detail in this in the next video, you need to make sure you've got those 3 parts to describe it, okay? So what we're going to do is we've got to rotate it in a direction, okay? A number of a turn, so 90 degrees. So if it was this way, then it's turning that way, isn't it? So I always put the arrow pointing upwards, and then we know we've got to turn it 90 degrees. This one is anti-clockwise, so we're going to be turning it the wrong way. So we're going to be going backwards, okay? And then we have to have this center of rotation, which is 0, 1, okay? So I'm going to mark that point on the graph now, okay? So that is there. Okay, so the trick is now we're going to trace our shape. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but just roughly the shape. And I always go over the center of rotation. Okay, I've drawn an arrow up, so I know that's where my shape started. Okay, what I want to do is I want to turn it 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So I want my X has to stay on the X, but now I want my arrow pointing in that direction so that it's turned 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Okay, so if I keep it as much as I can on the spot, and can you see that's where I would need to draw my shape. So if I lift up my tracing paper, I think it's going to go there. Let's just trace that there and double check. Yep, that's right. So all I would do is just straighten this up. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. And that would be my rotated shape. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Okay, so this one, we have to rotate it 180 degrees about -1, 0. Now this time it hasn't told me a direction, and I'll show you why in a moment that is. Okay, so -1, 0 is here. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trace my shape like this. And then I'm going to put an X on here, and I know it was pointing this way. Now, it hasn't got a direction because actually, if I turn it 180 degrees, which is half a turn, if I do it clockwise, it ends up there. Okay, so let's put it back where it was. If I do it anti-clockwise, it ends up in the exact same position, okay? So that's why you don't have a direction when it comes to 180 degrees, okay? So this is where I need my shape to be, okay? It's not quite perfect, but just try and fiddle with it so it's on the line, okay? On the lines. So it needs to be here, right? So this is the fiddly bit where you need to try and get it drawn in the right place. So there, like this. I think it looks like that. Let's double check. Yep, that's right. And then go over it. You can obviously use your ruler to make it look a little bit neater. But I mark in your assessment, so it doesn't matter really, as long as it's in the right place, okay? And that's it. Okay, so I'll now have a look at the next video to see how to describe the rotation.